Hi, you're welcome back to Quiver Analytics, and this is our next video on Stata, working with Stata, research analytics with Stata. All right, so quickly, what we'll be doing in this video is to read in data sets into Stata and describe. We'll use the use function to do that. Then in this video, we'll describe the variables using describe, summarize variables using summarize, then regroup and recode quantitative variables using generate, produce frequency tables using tablets, produce summary statistics for quantitative variables by categorical variables using table, sort the data using sorts. All right, so these are some of the things we'll be doing and more I will be doing in this video. All right, now let's get to it. Now the first thing we do in Stata, this is Stata 15 interface, but it works. Stata 15 code, any code that is entered here works for Stata 16, 17 and above. All right, so working with Stata, the first thing we do, which we'll do in every video, so that you can get mastered, like you can master it and reproduce it. It's for the purpose of reproducibility, where your codes, you can use them again and again and again. So for stats, we'll talk about log files. Now, before log files, the first thing you do is to assign a working directory. A working directory is a place on your laptop, on your PC, where you store, you already have your data sets. All right, so for me, I'll be using this as my working directory, the starter data files, and I have the data I want to use here. So you have to have every material you want to use inside your data, working directory. All right, so let's do that. You go to file, and of course we can use codes too, but change working directory, and it's in my on my desktop, so starter data files. Okay, now uh you can see my cd is the code, then the path to that file is what we have here in double quotation. It's as simple as that. cd for change directory. All right, now that we've stated that this is where we want our working directory to be, that is where our data sets are, and that is where whatever we want to save, if we plot a chart here, it's going to save there. It's going to save in the Stata data files. All right, so let's create the log file now. So a log file takes record of all the codes you write. All right, so a log file is like your script. It takes record, takes a note of all the codes you've written. All right, and so you go to file, log, and begin. All right, so you can see it took us to starter data files. In case if it didn't take you to starter data files, you can navigate to starter, wherever your working directory is. All right, so I'm going to call this lesson 2, or okay, lesson 2. I'm going to use II. Now another thing is, this is important, the formatted log you should remember to change it to log, then save. All right, so the code for this is log using, so instead of going through the pointer click, you would have written log using, then you type in you copy and paste the directory, then the name of the log log that you want to use. All right, okay, now that we have our log, we have our working directory, so we can go to the next thing, which is importing data. For the purpose of this video, we'll use a baby's data. Okay, let's just import it. To import data into Stata, you can use babies. All right, because I know there's a data set in my working directory. Let me show you. Called babies. Where are you? Babies. babies. All right, here I have two of them. I have babies and I have babies. So data file is in .dta. All right. So I have it here already. I don't have to state .dta. Once I say use babies, you can see we have ID, the variables in the data set, mat age for maternal age, their labels. We have I put I for hypertension, that's the hypertensive status of the mother, gest weeks, that's gestation weeks, gestational age in weeks, then the sex of the baby, male or female, then the B weight, that's the birth weight in grams. All right, to see the full data set, you can come here to data editor browse. This one allows you to browse without edits, while the other one, editor edit, allows you to edit. All right, so let's browse. We are not going to edit it. So you can see the spreadsheets. We have the ID, we have the mat age, we have the hypertensive status 1212. Let's check here. Hypertensive status, we'll know what 1 means and 2 means later. Maybe 1 for yes, 2 for no. All right, the gestational week, sex, 1 for male, 2 for female. You can see it here, 1 male, 2 female. Then birth weight in grams. All right, so now that's for babies. Now another thing is we can describe babies. Okay, variable babies not found. Okay, sorry, we don't have to use the word, we don't have to use babies, so we just do describe. So because for Stata 15 it can take one data set at a time, so we can do describe. Now it describes the data. This is what we already know before, what we've seen before. ID, maternal age, and all of that. You can see the float data storage type, float, byte, float, and integer. Right. Now another thing we can do in evaluating the data set is to summarize. All right, we summarize. We have the observations. We have 741 observation, the mean for each of them. Now for hypertensive and sex, you can see 1 point something. They are categorical variables. We will not be reporting this and this because they are categorical variables and they shouldn't have estimates. All right, they can only have counts, which is 641, which is fine. All right, now then we can summarize more. Summarize, comma, detail. Right, so you can see one after the other it summarizes the variables. All right, so this is the identity number, the maternal age. You can see the percentiles, the observation, sum of weights, mean, standard deviation for all of them. All right, now to create tables and constituency tables, we use the tab function as seen in the introductory slide. All right, so let's tabulate sex because we know tabulate sex. So we know that sex is 1 for male, 2 for female. So tabulate sex, we have 1 male, 2 female. That's the description. Then the frequency, the percentage, the cumulative frequency. 1 for 315, 2 for, male, there are 315 male and 326 female children. Their percentages are here. All right, so what we did was tabulate. Now the good thing about Stata is that you can abbreviate your commands. So before we abbreviate the command, let's check for tabulate hype. So now hypertension does not have description 1 and 2. So 1 probably for yes and 2 for no, or the other way around. And we'll do that. We'll set a name for it soon. Now I was talking about shortening the names. Tab sex is going to produce the same thing as tabulate. So if whichever one, tabulate, tab, it works the same same way. All right. Now, above this, talking about dealing with categorical variables, we can also, because why we are talking about categorical variables here is that in the, okay, I just want to, all right, in the summary table, I said we cannot use the summaries given by the categorical variables, that's hypertension and sex. So because for the other variables we already have their summaries, so for the categorical variables we need to have their present their summaries as well. All right, now apart from presenting the frequency table, we can also present a contingency table, a 2x2 table, and doing that we'll have tab, which is the same thing. It can also be tabulate. So we have sex, space, and height. All right, the two categorical variables, sex and height. All right, now sorry, now sex comes as the row header. The first one comes to the row, and the second one, the first variable entered becomes the row header. The second variable entered becomes the column header. All right, so among the, and again, the totals is by row. That's by default. All right. So that means among the male babies, we have 37 of them come from hypertensive mothers. 278 comes from non-hypertensive mothers. We are assuming 1 is for yes, 2 is for no. We can interpret same for female children as well. 52 comes from hypertensive mothers, while 274 comes from non-hypertensive mothers. So the total hypertensive mothers, 89. You can see here, total for hypertensive, 89. And total for the other 1552 here, summed, we have 641. Now, we can, in our contingency table, we can add percentages to them. Now, if you want the percentages by row, which is the defaults, so we'll repeat the command. To repeat the command, just click it once, then we add comma row, enter. Now we have it here. You can see the percentage is 100%. Like I said earlier, this is 315, so it's by row by default. And if you want to do that again for column wise, just add column. Now the percentage is column wise. All right, so adding comma, row, and column gives us the percentage by row and column. The command, okay, now let's check another command. Tab sex height, then cell. Now we have this command. It encapsulates everything, like instead of row wise or column wise. So 5.77% of male children, okay, let me interpret it this way. Male children from hypertensive mothers are 5.77% of the whole sample. Male children from non-hypertensive